I thought you were going to do the little explosion.
Anticipated Games 2015!
Alright, so
MC Ride, is that you?
we're going to talk about the games that we're interested in this year. We've got a big list. This wasn't originally my idea, but I kind of organized it and took off with it. I don't remember whose idea it was, but it wasn't mine.
Good job.
But the first thing we're going to
to
talk about is actually a game development group, because they're doing a bunch of stuff this year. We're going to talk about Choice Provisions and their games Tharsis, LaserLife, and they also have another one that was supposed to be released last year but didn't make it yet, called Destructomundo.
And the PS4,
Which one did you guys want to talk about first?
there's the PS4 version of WillDave.
There's the PS4 version of WillDave.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Vita version released, but
Alright. So which one did you want to start with, Landon? Because this is more your bag than mine.
Destructomundo would be like the easiest. Destructomundo is another mini vision, so it's under the same bit as WillDave. So it's going to be a cheaper game, and it's going to be a lot simpler, but it's going to be more experimental, kind of like WillDave was. It's about blowing planets up with as few nuclear warheads as you possibly can.
Oh, wow, that sounds like the opposite of fun.
So basically you have to, like, hit a specific spot in order to destroy the most.
Like the most, yeah. There'll be like in each stage there'll be like a couple different planets or something, and you have to strategically place your nuclear warhead and like destroy everything on screen with as few clicks as possible.
That's pretty cool.
So it's yeah,
It's kind of like a puzzle game, in a sense.
puzzle strategy.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be coming to announced. I believe it's iOS and Steam and Android. So Steam version, yeah. And then, like Cloud said, there's also two other games.
LaserLife and Tharsis. Of those two, which one would you say would be the bigger game?
They've
Like-
been talking about Tharsis more
right.
recently, so I think that one's the one that's actually going to, if it comes out, it'll be that one. Tharsis is a strategy game where you are on the first manned mission to Mars, and something's gone wrong, and so you have to use your resources to try to keep the team alive as best as possible till you get to Mars. And it's like you can use like all your resources, and if like there's dead people, you can just eat them. Yeah, one of the big things they talk about.
Eat?
Yeah, no. One of the big things they talk about, like on the game page, is cannibalism, and it's like awesome.
Sounds like the best thing ever.
And that, guys, is why Landon is looking forward to this game.
It's like, well, you can't nuke everything like you want to, but at least you can eat people.
Yeah, no, and from the screens, it looks kind of weird, and I'm excited for this one. So,
Well, a lot of Choice Provisions games look kind of weird.
yeah, it's turn-based strategy with high stakes, tremendous odds, and cannibalism.
I love how that's a feature.
Yeah, that's not a feature. That's a requirement.
That's a requirement.
And then there's LaserLife. LaserLife was like a tech demo back in 2010, and it was like a laser. From what I remember, it was like a laser going around like a room that like it was like I think Dead Space in terms of everything on the ship is dead, except there's no one guy and there's no like aliens or whatever.
But are you in space?
I think it's still technically in space, and it was sort of rhythm based, and you sort of like moved this laser around, and you collected memories of like the astronaut that was in there, and it was.
Is it still going to be rhythm-based?
I'm not completely sure what exactly they're doing because they haven't really talked too much about it.
Yeah,
A whole
'cause by
lot.
the sounds of things, conceptually, it was basically borrowing with the rhythm aspect. It seems like they were trying to build off of the ideas that they had started with Bit Trip, but with it being put off, maybe it'll be like a lot different.
From the screenshots I've seen, it's looking quite a bit
Very
different.
different.
Yeah.
So what the original idea got kind of blurred?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm excited.
But no, that's good. That gives them a chance to make something really unique with this.
I think that's what they're going for since the name change from Gaijin Games to Choice Provisions. They're trying to do other things. I still want... Okay, and this is the last bit, besides PS4 version of WillDave, which is basically the Steam version.
Which is basically everything else he has.
Actually, the 3DS Vita version are more like the iOS version because there's not the two-player aspect. And the 3DS version is different because it has, unlike the Vita version and the Steam version, it can save multiple high scores. So you can see like your progress over time as opposed to what was your last high score.
Well, that feels more old school than the game actually is.
Yeah. There's, the game I always want, a bit trip RPG, make it happen. They said they're not opposed to the idea, so...
I think that would be a really cool idea. Especially if they somehow manage to incorporate rhythm aspects into the game.
It would have to.
You should make that...
It would.
You should make them an offer with Team KJ.
Team KJ. Let's see Quest crossover. Go.
A rhythm RPG is like totally possible because like Mother 3 has like elements of that in the battle system because like if you hit an enemy, and then you like keep pressing the attack button to the beat of the music, you'll do like extra attacks.
Then there's like there's those Theorhythm Final Fantasy games that are like that as well, so it's not like it's impossible.
All right. That covers everything for choice provisions?
E.
All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about before we get to a huge meaty center of our list. It's not really a specific game. This part's basically just the Animu corner and whatever anime-style games and whatever wappany shit we can think of. Major entries, though, are the next Neptunia game, V2, and Senran Kagura Burst 2. Justin, since Landon got to talk plenty for a little bit all by himself, did you want to talk about Neptunia V2 real quick?
Neptunia 7.
Neptunia 7.
Well,
Actually,
that's another thing.
Sure
The fact that, like, here's the weird thing about V2. A lot of people, including me, think it's supposed to be a sequel to Victory 2. I mean, well, Victory. I mean, this is Victory 2. If it is, maybe. But
all we know is it's the next major Neptunia game.
Yeah, which is why the 7-looking Roman numerals also have a second meaning, because after Victory, they just absolutely splooged with fucking Neptunia spin-offs all over the Vita. So
yeah, I don't think they're counting the Rebirth games, though, as part of the counting. Because there's the Idle game, there's the Noir game, there's U, which that would be 6, and then V2 would be 7. So yeah.
Yeah, even though Rebirth 1 could technically be considered its own game because how different it is. But besides that,
it's PS4 exclusive, right?
Yep, it's only PS4.
Okay, yeah.
What I'm confused about is, like, there's been, like, talk about, like, how, or at least, like, information saying something about, like, it's not really a true sequel to Victory, and a lot of the characters that were in Victory will not make appearances in V2. Like,
I feel like it might be another reboot. Like, not really a reboot, but, like, it might, like...
I don't
it's,
think...
like, distancing itself plot-wise.
I don't think so, because of the fact that Neptune and Nepgear, it's still the same Neptune and Nepgear, but there's also another Neptune.
All we know, all we really have for information is that Neptune, at least the one that was shown, because there's, like, the first thing that they showed was, like, Neptune's new design. She looked, like, wicked old. Like, she did not look anything like...
She has titties now.
Of course.
Also,
That's the most important aspect.
the one thing I noticed, like, first about her, like, it took me a while to realize it, because it's not something I always cared about, but I realized, wait a minute, where the hell did her stockings go? It's like that's the one thing I noticed is that she wasn't wearing stockings. I'm like, wait a minute, this is weird. Although honestly, her redesign doesn't really feel like a redesign, other than the longer hair and the tits, because the black like monochrome looking jacket that she's wearing was an alternate costume that you could already get in the other games if you just switched your outfit to the last station appearance. So the monochrome doesn't really look that new to me.
Oh dear God. Okay, so apparently the story of this new game is actually spanning 3 different dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just going balls deep with this.
It's the mega dimension, it's the zero dimension, and some other dimension. I think it's the hyperdimension. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's the heart dimension.
Heart dimension, that's what it was. Yeah.
I have no idea what the heart dimension is. Obviously, the hyperdimension is the dimension we're known for, that the games mainly take place in.
Honestly, out of all the trailers they've released, the H dimension intrigues me the most, only because it was such a fucking drastic change from the other trailers. Because every single trailer of B2 has just been like fucking death metal. And when they show the H,
they're going back to their hardcore.
No, I'm not kidding. Like, they had like the first few trailers, and then they had like one trailer that revealed like these fucking robot guys. But it like consistently it sounded like fucking death metal. Then when we get the Neptunia H, the H dimension trailer, it sounds like a J-pop song. I'm like, what?
Alright, so it's supposed to come out in April of this year in Japan, so I'm guessing we'll probably see it sometime in the winter if we get it this year.
Yeah, that's definitely something that needs to be on my PS4.
There hasn't really been much gameplay-wise revealed about it, but we can assume it's going to probably just build off of what Mark II and Victory started.
Yeah.
Probably some few new features or something.
You all might think I'm a sick fuck because it's just pretty. A lot of people consider this series a fucking fetish field game, but I consider.
I just like the fact that they're all personified game systems.
Well, that's the reason why I like it too. But you know how people are. But I actually consider this on par with fucking Metal Gear in terms of how much I want this game.
Judging.
Alright, and then Senran Kagura Burst 2. How much do we know about that?
It's time for the big boys to talk.
Alright. Alright.
You're not much bigger than I am.
Get the fuck out of
This is
here.
a man's game.
This is a man's game.
The man's game.
If you want to play manly games, you play
Both of you are younger than I am.
Get your Metal Gear weeaboo shit out of here.
Get your Western stylized characters and take a hike. This is for men and manly men only.
Alright, so Senran Kagura Burst 2 is the follow-up to Senran Kagura. What is it called in Japan again?
Senran Kagura 2 Deep
Crimson. Yeah. Basically, we got not last year, the year before, holy shit, I keep forgetting it's 2015, we got a game, Senran Kagura Burst. It's a bunch of big booby ninjas that kick the crap out of each other, and there's these 2 teams of ninjas, and they're beating the shit out of each other because their schools have, like, different ways of training, and apparently they're trying to get each other's scrolls.
Because one's good and one's evil.
My titties are better than yours.
Deeper than that.
This is my titties are better than yours competition.
Pretty much. And then there's Mirai.
Yeah. Mirai.
She's not only...
That's
I wonder if her flat-chestedness also demonstrates how much power she actually has.
0. Anyway.
You mean no power at all?
She's literally the worst character.
Anyway, last year we got the best Vita game ever.
It's true.
Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus.
And there was a rhythm game too.
Yeah. You mean WillDave?
Whoa, Dave.
No, it's the one where you can put
Alright, so what we know about Senran Kagura Burst... Oh, what? You were going to say something, Jeff?
No, I was just going to say it's the one where you put frosting on their nipples.
That's true.
What we know about Senran Kagura Burst 2 is that the you're supposed to be able to like do tag team.
It's 1.5D.
1.5.
Yeah, so it's like
2.5D, whatever you want to say.
It has basically the gameplay of Burst, but it's expanded upon. So there's like you can move a little bit more freely, but not like Shinobi freely, and you have like two different people. Is it? I don't know actually. Is there like specific characters that have to be paired together? Do we know that or no?
No, I don't.
Katsuragi and Hikage pulls.
Oh, I don't think they. I haven't read anything about specific characters. There might be story-wise.
Yeah.
But then like there might also be like not story-wise missions where you can auto pick or whatever.
Okay, hold on. Let's think about this for a second. What if all of the stories are partner-based? Like all of the character stories.
Well,
We like force tag team.
Yes.
I'd be okay with that.
I'll be okay with that too.
Cat
I think
Hikage, best story.
I think it depends on which story character ends up getting Mirai on their side.
That'd be Yagyu.
Yeah, it'd be Yagyu.
Yagyu would
I feel
carry
bad.
the
I
team.
feel bad for Yagyu getting dragged down by such a shit tier character.
She's just like, where's my Hibari?
And
I wanna
Hibari
stuff
is
my
like,
face in her pussy.
It's like, and then Mirai's like, but guys, I'm the only one that can backdash.
Who cares?
Who cares?
who cares? Mirai, get out of here.
Also,
Get back to
this
your
is
trash
supposed
can.
to be the first game with a male playable character.
Wrong.
Does he have
Wrong.
boobs?
It's Ikaruga's brother.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's playable.
I was thinking it might have been the teacher dude,
No.
but okay.
No.
Well,
That,
okay.
I guess he's fine too.
So yeah, there's that.
That's okay, I guess.
This is.
Um,
We're looking forward to our 3DS Game of the Year. Flows.
Before we move on to the next game to talk about, Landon, do you know if there's any news on if Bullet Girls is going to be coming to America yet? No.
Oh,
I'm just gonna
you.
try then.
I-
That game looks so fun.
I've actually been looking at that game, so if I find anything, I'll tell you guys.
All right. So next game we're going to talk about is a really huge-looking game in scope called No Man's Sky for PS4.
The game that Justin will be playing from now until the end of his life.
Basically, the concept of No Man's Sky is you get to explore the universe, and you can do whatever the fuck you want in it.
Have fun. There's too many planets.
Extremely
And he
open-ended
cooks.
game.
Too many cooks.
Extremely gorgeous-looking game. You get to fly in spaceships in space.
For about a couple over trillion years.
Yeah, there's so much. There's so many planets in this game. You'd be like, whoa, Dave.
Dave.
There's more planets than there are humans on this planet.
This is probably like the only open-ended game that looks really interesting to me, only for the fact that I freaking love the concept of exploring space, and that the fact they're going to do something this big with it is really cool.
Well, honestly, this is the only open world game I've ever seen that actually felt so open that you can't possibly actually explore it all.
Yeah. My question is aside from obviously they're going to do like randomly generated like stuff in order to get all this stuff to fit in the game, but other than that, how the hell, like, is the PS4 actually capable of processing all of this?
Not at the same time. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
places
Like,
will load
obviously
as
they
you
have
move.
to, yeah, they'll have load, yeah, like that.
That's what you call popping.
But I mean, can one Blu-ray disc fit all of that?
It's a digital game.
It's
Yeah.
digital.
Like,
That's
there's no way this is going to be a physical game. It's
How
yeah,
many
it's indie.
How many hundreds of gigabytes will this game be?
I can see it now. It's like, your PS4 has 500 gigabytes of space, but almost all of that will be taken up by this one game today.
Well, just because it's got tons of shit doesn't mean it's going to eat up fucking memory like that.
No, with the ability to randomly generate everything, it should probably, I'm going to guess it's going to be like, how much does the usual PS4 game take up? Like 25, 30?
30. Oh, I had one that was like 40.
yeah.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark and guess No Man's Sky will be between 50 and 60.
GTA 5 has a mandatory 50 gig install,
Jesus.
even if you're playing it from the disc.
Yep.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
thanks.
I'm going to guess No Man's Sky is going to have at least that much or more. What else did I want to talk about with this? Like, I remember off we weren't actually, I don't think we were discussing this in a recording, but there was like something to do with like stuff that you can do while you're on the different planets.
Mm-hmm.
You can, well, there's
Juke
like,
your dick.
you know, you could, I guess you could do that, but I don't know.
You can whip out your dick.
But there's supposed to be combat, so you're going to be out both space and on ground, and like on planet, so you'd be like flying like over the planet's surface, and you'd be able to do like dogfight style.
Basically what Battlefront 3 was supposed to be.
Pretty much. And you can, so there'll be like animals and like flora and fauna you can like go explore and find. You can look around the entire planet.
I think they said some of them might try and eat you.
There's resource gathering, so you can afford like your spaceship, or like so you can make your spaceship better. So there's that.
With resource gathering, do you think that there'll be like some sort of SimCity aspect where you can like create a civilization on a planet?
I have no idea.
Because that would be fucking awesome.
Well, I know that sometimes you have to move to different planets because some resources are more scarce on certain planets than others.
Yeah, you're going
I
to want to
would
get out in
spend-
space as soon as possible with the game.
True. Because it has a very large focus of exploring space itself.
There's
Even though you can
sort
land on
of
planets
like
like
I don't want to use the term skill tree, but like there's upgrades you can use on your weapon, like the way the creator or like one of the developers was talking about it. He said it's like your pocket knife is basically what your gun comes down to. It's a multi-purpose tool to where you not only can kill things, but you can use it for mining resources and other things. So
that's pretty
you can upgrade it in the certain aspects that you are looking forward, like you're using it more towards, and you can also upgrade like your ability to just like breathe underwater longer or like stay underwater. So like your oxygen tank gets upgraded and stuff like that. So there's upgrades, but it's very vague and open about what you're supposed to do. It's just the goal is like explore and maybe
The
yeah.
entire game is very roguelike.
There is sort of some kind of story about like there's some kind of evil entity force in this galaxy,
Doing evil
and
things.
that's more explained as you travel towards like the center of the galaxy. So
So basically, if you want to complete the story, your goal is to get to the center of the galaxy.
if you want to call it a story, yeah.
Quote-unquote
Yeah.
story. As much of a story as any other open-ended game could have.
Pretty much.
But yeah, this game has like a lot of potential to be like really cool.
Well, in terms of scope, this is certainly the biggest indie game I've ever seen.
It's looking to be pretty huge. If we don't have anything else...
Never mind. Never mind.
Oh, you don't have anything?
No.
All right. So next game we have on our list is Resident Evil Revelations 2, which I know a certain Justin and Landon are very hyped for.
Always
So you guys can talk about that.
more revelation.
What system is it supposed to start on?
It's on
PS4 and Xbox One.
PS4, Xbox One, PS3, Xbox 360, and PC, maybe? I don't know if they announced a PC version yet. But
That's interesting that they decided to go with that, and then with like the first one they started with a 3DS.
it's because they're dicks. Capcom...
Oh, the first one is also on Wii U.
Yeah, they also...
They ported it later.
But they ported it to all the consoles later.
Although, honestly, Revelations is actually kind of a bad port.
It is. The best version is the 3DS version. But this game is different from the first one, as it has different characters that weren't in the first one. Kind of the story goes in a different direction than the first Revelations, as there was the T-Abyss virus, and there was a cliffhanger ending with that, and then this game is kind of like, what's that? We don't know. Because all of the monsters have nothing apparently to do with the T-Abyss virus, so that's a thing.
You know what? That's the feeling I'm getting from fucking Shadowfall. Because it's like you get to the end of the third game, it's like, oh boy, I wonder how it's going to end. And then it's like a completely unrelated story.
It might be that, but then this looks like it's going to be another like branch in the gameplay. It's like a spin-off series, except it's like the time-wise, it's actually part of the main games as well.
I think the interesting feature about Revelations 2 is, unlike the first one, actually, since I'm the only one that played it, I'm the only one that noticed it, it actually kind of plays like Resident Evil 0 because you can actually swap characters.
Yeah, there's a character swapping. So the big thing is there's 4 different episodes, and you play as in the first one. You can play as Clara, and then Barry Burton's daughter, or one of his what's
Moira or something like that.
Something like that. I don't know. And Claire Redfield's basically, hey, look, I've got a shit ton of guns. I've been here, done that. Let's kill everything. And the other chick's like, yeah, I got a flashlight.
And a crowbar.
And a crowbar.
Is that going to do anything?
She can instant kill things that are on the ground. So basically, you use her to stun people with the flashlight, and then Claire's like, sup, bitches? And then when they get on the ground, you go back to the daughter and then stab.
Yeah. Basically, it's like a really demented Luigi's Mansion.
And then episode 2, it's been confirmed that Barry's
Burton.
back. Yeah, Barry's back.
After fucking who knows how long. Like, I think his last appearance was fucking technically the gold edition of 5.
In terms of being...
Disappearing.
Yeah. In terms of story, it's been 3.
Mm-hmm. Well, 3 he's only mentioned in one of the endings for... Oh, no. Technically, there's an ending where you can get Barry in a helicopter to come save Jill, so I guess you can count that.
Yeah, exactly. The 1, if you want to be like a main
really
character.
Since he's actually like got a major appearance.
Yeah, so it's been a while since Barry. Barry's a great character, though, so...
Still no sign of Rebecca.
Nope.
Rebecca hasn't been seen since fucking 1. Or
But,
0, I guess, if you want to count, since that's newer.
Well, yeah. In terms of story time-wise, though,
It's 1. Yeah.
But no, this game's going to be fun. Justin and I are getting the full physical release, but it's going to be episodic. So if you want to download episode 1, you could start that. There's also a season pass where you can get a little bit extra shit, but the game disc is supposed to have even more than that. So the game disc doesn't come out until everything's been launched. So it's looking like a March release for the full game.
Yeah, so if you're impatient, you can get it as it releases, but you'll be missing out on whatever the actual disc gives you.
Yeah, so look forward to that day 1 LP, or day-ish 1 LP.
or like how 6 was, where it was made technically a day 2 LP.
Whatever, we'll do it.
All right. Next game we have on our list is Mighty Number 9, which is Keiji Inafune's next venture, because Capcom hates Mega Man. That's the short answer. Mighty Number 9 was created by Concept, which they worked on Mega Man 9 and 10, as a spiritual successor of sorts to the Mega Man series, since, again, Capcom hates Mega Man. And it features a character named Beck, who has to go defeat the other Mighty Numbers, and he's the 9th one, which is hence the name of the game. It's going to have gameplay, all different stuff, basically all taken from Mega Man, all Mega Man inspired. It looks really cool so far. It had a huge Kickstarter. Everybody was like all over that shit. I'm stoked for it personally because it looks like it has a few things that make it kind of unique. Like you're supposed to have like powers that like aren't tied to like the stuff that you get from the different bosses of the game, which it looks like it might be kind of similar to like Rush powers, but at the same time it looks like they might not be. I don't know. It's supposed to come to like every different freaking system imaginable.
And the Vita.
And the Vita. It's coming out in April? April. And if you backed it, you actually get like bonuses stuff depending on what level of backing you did. I forgot. What'd you do, Landon, for backing
I
it?
didn't back it.
You didn't back it? I thought you did.
No, I just talked about it.
I thought you backed it.
Oh.
I backed it.
I just was like, this is a game you're gonna like. Bye. Like, fly away.
You just sent me a link and then you just flew back off to Landon Land.
Exactly. It looks
Now I'm gonna
interesting.
go back and
I don't know.
now I'm gonna go back and play Bit Trip.
It looks interesting. I don't know. I'm not a huge Mega Man fan, so it's like, oh, okay, that's the thing. And then I just pat it on its head, and I'm like, okay, bye. I'll probably give it a whirl, maybe. Who knows? We'll see. It looks interesting because there's the mechanic where you absorb your enemies, and
That.
yeah, it's a thing, and you get points based off that, so recharge health and stuff, so it's interesting. You want to kill them with a dash. Is what all I understand. I'm like, whoa, Dave.
Yeah, I didn't actually look into that part yet.
Yeah.
But they've been posting news on the game like nonstop, and they're already finished with the game. They just have to like do their post-production stuff like bug testing and then packaging the game and sending it out and shit. So it's already done, basically. We just have to get it.
So how about that cartoon?
Yeah, it's supposed to get a...
It's supposed to get a cartoon,
yeah, it's supposed
too.
Oh, well then.
I just hope
boy.
it's not. I just hope this isn't another Sonic Boom.
But what if the game is amazing and the cartoon is shit?
Well, then it'll be just like Mega Man.
No way, man.
True.
Battle now for us.
True.
Super fighting robot.
Fighting to save
That
the
is
world.
the best part of the show and the only good part of the show, aside from, obviously, Gutsman's ass.
Or the part when Pharaoh Man just punches Mega Man aside. He's like, I've got your power. He's like, yeah, well, I have a fist in your face.
Oh,
No way, man. Gutsman's ass.
dead ass.
Now, Jack would probably be more hyped for Mighty Number 9, if not for this next game we're going to be talking about, which is the next Shantae game, Half-Genie Hero,
Okay.
which I will leave Landon and Jack to talk about.
Oh.
Shantae!
I'm going to stop you.
Here he goes.
Okay. Okay.
I backed this.
Shantae is the Metroidvania type sort of more linear than that 2D platformer series developed and self-published by WayForward.
Words, Jack.
No, I was trying to remember if they self-publish or not, and they do.
They do.
They're bigger than the average indie developer.
Well, that's
They're
because
probably
they
one
make...
of the biggest indie developers right now.
Well, they are the biggest... Well, not including Mojang, which isn't really an indie company anymore. They are the biggest indie developer because they do a lot of shovelware to make money.
Well, they do pay for hire work.
Well, yeah, basically.
That's what it is. And typically that stuff's actually better than most shovelware, so...
It's true.
So, if you want, like, there's the Batman and Robin game? I hear that's actually
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So, if you want good games that are basically shovelware, go for it.
And DuckTales.
DuckTales, yeah.
Well, that's not really shovelware, though. That's supposed to be a remake of an NES game, but
If you
whatever,
want good bad games, get WayForward.
If you want to play a movie game, make sure it's by WayForward.
Pretty much.
If you want shovelware, just go buy the newest Call of Duty.
Or Assassin's Creed.
But we're not here to talk about Call of Duty.
Keck.
Jaja.
So, Half-Genie Hero, after being funded in October of 2013 for like $800,000, is going to be the next Shantae game, the first one that is in fully non-sprite animated characters. Like I think it's going to be hand drawn.
I believe it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's all going to be hand drawn as opposed to everything just being sprite-ified. It's going to be for
Everything.
everything.
Everything but the 3DS.
Yeah, pretty much. Hold on, I have the page open here. Yep, it's Xbone, Wii U, Vita, 360, PS4, Steam, Vita TV, actually, or PS TV, and PS3.
Oh.
So basically, if it can do HD, then it's getting HalfGenie Hero.
Much.
Mm-hmm. And we don't really know much about it. Like we know,
I have like five or six episodes, and
Oh, another episodic one.
no, it's not
No.
episodic. It's just like that's like
Oh, that's how the game is split up.
yeah.
yeah.
It's like chapters.
And there's like you play multiple. There's like a bunch of different costumes you can get because of Kickstarter. So there's Paddy Wagon, Patricia. She's a costume.
Yep. And there's really just not much we know about it. They haven't really said much about it because they've been spending the last year like saying Pirate's Curse is coming out soon.
Yeah.
and then it came out.
And
now
it
we
just
have-
came out.
Yeah,
like 3 weeks ago.
They just finished the Wii U version. The 3DS versions came out earlier than that, and people in Europe's like, well, where's ours? I'm like, shut the fuck up. HalfGenie Hero time.
That's coming out sometime?
Eventually.
I don't know.
Hopefully. It's coming out hopefully.
It's coming out. Well, it will come out, but it's coming out soon. Trademark
Eventually.
registered.
20x.
All right.
TM.
Speaking of 20XX, the next game we have to talk about is probably going to be another quick one because we don't know a whole lot about it, but the upcoming Wii U Star Fox game. Because they're finally going to make another one. It's been forever.
We know literally nothing about it. Just don't fuck it up.
All we know is it's coming out
Please.
before Zelda U.
Well, Miyamoto is supposed to actually have something to do with this game, and he didn't have much to do with a couple of the previous ones. So hopefully that means something good. All I care about is I hope it's stylized more like the older ones.
I'm sorry, guys, but I can't believe I have to tell you this, but there's an R-wing in it.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I spoiled you.
Why would you do this to me, Justin?
The only R-Wing I need is Tricky.
Oh,
To follow me around fucking everywhere. Shut the fuck up, Tricky. Go home. I don't care if your parents are dead.
Parents dead.
No, but if I can get like an HD, like the stuff from like 64 or the Super Nintendo Star Fox, like that'll be great. I don't need this exploration with if they can somehow make it work and make it really fun, I guess that's okay. But I don't need like the Star Fox Adventure shit.
Make it No Man's
Just let me fly through space and shoot shit.
Make it No Man's Sky. Done.
Make it No Man's Sky, but with Star Fox characters.
oh, too big.
All I know is I'll wait until it's pre-owned, buy it, spend like a day playing it, and be like, ew, this is shit. Return. I'll do that.
You give it a
It's
1 on
Please,
Metacritic or something.
sometimes.
I'll just do that so I can do a review of it. Be like, yeah, I played it.
All right, next game we have to talk about, which also doesn't really have a whole lot, but we actually got at least a trailer of sorts, is the upcoming Zelda game for Wii U, which literally has no name, just like Star Fox right now. It is just Zelda U.
or Wii U? What if that's what it ends up being called?
Like
The
they
Legend
did
of
for
Zelda
fucking
Wii
Smash
U.
Brothers.
Like that's going to be the trend for the Wii U games. Just everything's just going to be the
For
blank
Wii U.
for Wii U.
Star Fox for Wii U.
It's just like 64.
Just like 64.
Teehee.
Or Super Nintendo where everything had Super in front of it.
Oh.
Super Mario Kart. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. But Zelda U, we ended up getting a little bit of footage and a little bit of some concept trailer, but not really any gameplay. It looks like a huge. It's supposed to have like a wide open.
They did gameplay at what was it? The Video Game Awards. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they did. That's right.
So they had that's where they were talking about how Star Fox is supposed to actually come out before Zelda U, because they made a joke about that, and I was like, haha, I don't understand it because you guys are Japanese. Oh. But this game, it's going to be apparently Skyrim for Zelda people, and then I'm like, oh, well, why are you ruining Zelda? But it's open, like, the world is a lot more open, and there's, like, lots of high points and low points, and you can climb the top of a mountain, and then
There's high rule and there's low rule.
We already did that before. That was called Link Between Worlds. Thank you.
What about middle rule?
Oh. I guess that's what this one's going to be called. Yeah. There's horse riding, not the horse rides itself.
Well, I'd like to think that...
it rides itself and you can control whatever. You could, like... I don't know how I feel about that, because I liked being able to control a horse.
I'm sure there's a way to be able to control the horse.
That's
Probably
just
so
like you
like
could,
switch between the two.
That's probably just so you could shoot arrows without having to look where you're going.
I don't know how I feel about all this slowdown time every time you pull out the bow and arrow so you can shoot.
Wait, there's slow motion now?
Yeah, there's slow motion. That's one of the things. They got into a fight and he basically jumped off the horse, and while he was jumping, he pulled out his bow and arrow and he was doing a slow descent, and he moved the gamepad so he could shoot the bow. So.
Oh yeah, that. Yep.
It's a thing. It's a feature.
Aiming easier.
Yeah, it's supposed to make aiming easier, but I don't know how I feel about that being always there. There's a way to...
Because I feel like it could get annoying.
Well, that's going to absolutely cheese boss fights.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
either they make the game really hard as to avoid basically making the games, like, really easy with that, or, like, they give you the feature to turn it off.
Well, I mean, they might. I mean, this is a little bit off topic, but it's kind of the same thing. I know in Metal Gear, if you ever got spotted, there was a reflex feature that you could turn off where you will automatically look at the person who saw you, and it goes into slow motion. But you can turn that off if you wanted to.
Okay, yeah.
See, if they do that, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause that just makes things a little bit too easy.
Also, let's mention this for the moment. This game looks fucking beautiful.
It does. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and if that game somehow manages to not be the most gorgeous Wii U game ever, I would be surprised.
All you have to do is announce a Metroid game. It would be like, okay.
Miyamoto, please, just don't make it like Skyward Sword.
It's going to be exactly like Skyward Sword.
Don't make it absolutely nothing like Skyward Sword.
Exactly.
Best ever.
Nothing like Skyward
Exactly
Sword.
like it.
Skyward Sword is a piece of shit.
Down to
Best
the T.
ever. Down with your opinion.
Justin, you hate motion controls.
I didn't hate Skyward Sword, though,
How did you not?
because it's not much different from fucking another game I played that had fucking motion controls in it. Like fucking, I played Metroid Prime 3. I didn't hate that either.
Never mind.
He got you.
Fair enough.
He
No,
got
I'm
you.
saying that. Well, okay, they did try to push it because that was when motion controls were new. But Skyward Sword was just like, we have full 1-to-1 motion controls that work 25% of the time.
Percent of the time.
Maybe you have to just get good.
Maybe I need to play a better game.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Let's go play Wind Waker.
Moving on.
No,
Next,
Majora's Mask 3D. Okay, done.
That's one thing we can't agree on. Wind Waker is the best Zelda.
I hate you, but okay.
I love
Alright,
you.
so the next
so much.
game we're going to talk about, children, is Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Oh, really, Mommy? Well, why don't you tell us about it, Mom?
Mom.
Mom. Alright. I was just trying to move things along.
Okay, Mom. Okay.
You're not in control of my life, Mom.
I am an adult. I work. I go to school.
I do one of
Can
the
we
things.
just talk about this game?
I don't know. Can we, Mother? Can we talk about it?
Yes. Please do.
Words. Okay. Who wants to go?
It's Xenoblade with the robots.
What's that? What?
Wait, shit! Xenoblade had robots. Damn it!
They're up in
Xenoblade
space.
in space.
Everything's in space this generation, guys.
But you can travel in someone's backyard.
Oh,
Where they have a pool party. I don't know, man.
Fuck yeah!
space pool party.
But you could. Well, in the last game, you couldn't. Well, you could. You couldn't pilot a mech.
What is the plot of this game in relation to the first Xenoblade?
Right?
Who fucking knows?
It takes place afterwards. Like apparently,
Way afterwards, apparently.
apparently they found a new planet, and now they're trying to like populate that. I don't know. There's some kind of map, and then there's RPG elements, and then you're a mech, and then you.
I would hope there's
Why?
RPG elements. The first game was an RPG.
I don't know, man. Maybe it wasn't an RPG. Maybe it was.
Well, that's what I thought about Grand Theft Auto until I found out it was just a golf game.
That's true.
You know what? You have a point.
I have a story, and it's going to be afterwards because we're going to be here for a while. It has to do with Grand Theft Auto and
All right.
be working at GameStop. So that's the thing.
So Xenoblade Chronicles X, just like the last two, we don't really know a whole lot about it, especially.
And it's been
Not
the
all.
game that's been announced out of these the longest.
The earliest. It was first announced as just X, and then it was revealed at E3 last year that it was Xenoblade Chronicles X, and we got a trailer, but then nothing afterwards.
I hope Shulk Amiibo's
Looks
compatible with it.
It better
Probably.
be.
And then I get a Shulk
It wouldn't make
skin
any
with my
sense.
playable character. I pre-ordered a Shulk Amiibo. I want Shulk Amiibo to be compatible with this game. Nintendo, make it happen.
Don't make me sad.
All right. And next game we're going to talk about is actually a game that has a good amount of stuff actually revealed for and has been shown off quite a bit, which is Splatoon.
Oh, spray your ink all over me.
Oh,
Basically how Splatoon works is you play as a squid person and you have a paintball gun that has has a specific color ink that's tied to your team, and you have to shoot the other team down with your ink, and your ink also goes everywhere, and you can travel through your ink if it's your color, and you get slowed down if you're in the enemy's ink. And it's a third-person shooter, and it's going to have like multiplayer online shit, and
what you talking
I
about
think
is
there's, like-
multiplayer. There's a single player story where you take on
there's also a single-player story, yes.
octopus.
The octopi people.
Yeah, the octopi people. Yeah, you fight octopies in their floating chairs of doom.
Octopies.
I don't know.
Are we fighting 8 pies, Landon?
8 pies?
This is a war against the octopus.
No,
Oh.
we're playing against tentacle rape.
No, this is a war between the octopuses and the squids to see who's the most tentacly.
Who gets to rape that anime character today?
Oh,
See, this is how it's decided.
You just put them all in this little area, and they just go at it.
so the question is, who's doing the story mission?
I might. I don't know.
Who has the best capture card? Raise his hand. Okay.
That'd be Landon. But who knows? I might have a Hapage by then.
Okay. Just so you know, I got my better one for cheaper than the one that I just sent to Justin, because I'm amazing.
Tee-hee.
Cyber
Well,
Monday.
we do know
plus-
from your Smash videos that you have a very good capture card.
If I had a better computer, like not a laptop, I would probably be doing it in 1080p 60 instead of 720p 60.
All I know is I'm going to get my internet straightened out, and I'm going to play the hell out of that online when I get it.
GG.
Because that game looks fun as hell.
Yeah. So it looks good, feels good, tastes good. Maybe.
Tastes good. You've tasted this game.
Oh, yeah. Tastes like squid ink.
Knowing the contents, maybe it does taste good.
Justin, you're going to get this game too.
Oh.
The fate of the world depends on it.
I want my Ikumizumi's DLC.
He still needs to get Mario Kart 8.
He still doesn't have Mario Kart 8, you're right.
Justin, get Mario Kart 8.
Justin, if you get Mario Kart 8, I'll go to work and I'll buy you a season pass. Or like the map packs, because I can do that. And I'll get you a digital code. I'll do that.
Oh.
Alright. Before we talk about our last thing, is there anything small to mention that we haven't talked about so far? Because we're only at 50 minutes.
Journey for the PS4.
The game that
Bastion for the PS4 and Vita.
Shovel Knight for the PS4 and Vita.
And PS3, I think, as well.
Oh, well.
I'm just going to give a shout out to Mario Maker, which I'm still interested in. I'm a whore for being able to make my own things.
There's my top 10 list. I think I have like an extra game.
Uncharted 4, but I'm the only one in this group that cares about that series, so okay.
No, actually, we talked about all the games I wanted to. Okay, GG, no re.
And Justin is silent.
Oh.
Talk about Metal Gear.
What?
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 Metal Gear 5, what?
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 What? What?
What?
What?
What?
What?
What?
What?
What?
Okay. Alright.
Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
What?
The last thing we have left to talk about is the new
Codename
3DS,
Steam. Oh.
which is already out
Codename
in
Steam.
Japan.
Codename Steam.
Abraham
Oh, okay.
Lincoln fights aliens
With Steam power. It's
with
basically...
steam power.
It's Valkyria Chronicles, but on a
Game-
Nintendo platform.
But with
Yeah, it's
Abe
like
Lincoln.
strategy.
With Abe Lincoln, Tom Sawyer, and a lion!
Abe
And a
the
lion.
fucking Lincoln.
Abe and George Washington, like,
This
zany
is
as
going to
fuck.
be the coolest game ever.
Yeah, it's going to. Also, Etrian Mystery Dungeon, another Mystery Dungeon game. I don't care who the characters are, I just need it in my life, please.
Because it says Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, pretty much, actually. That's what I told my boss. She's like, should I get this game? I'm like, do you like the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game? She's like, yeah, you're going to like this. She's like, but I've never played the games, and neither have I. It's okay. It's okay.
Alright, so last thing we have left to talk about is the new 3DS, which is already out in Japan
And Australia.
And Australia.
and Australia, those lucky bastards.
And scalpers of Europe now, because they released a Club Nintendo of Europe. People were getting special versions, so there's that too.
But we are still waiting on it. And basically, if you've been living under a rock, the new 3DS is stronger, better, faster, harder, and has a second stick.
It's harder, better, faster, stronger, you twit.
I wasn't trying to make the reference, it just kind of poured out and it came out of order. I'm sorry.
You know me.
I know I'm going to get one because I've had my 3DS since the Ambassador program and it is getting old and I want a new one and I want a better one. So I'm going to get the new 3DS. That second stick is supposed to be compatible with a lot of games that are coming out for it. A couple that have already come out, including Smash and...
Quote unquote. A lot of games. You know how many games that are coming out for the 3DS right now?
None.
Codename, like, we just basically talked about every single major one.
Codename Steam.
Codename Steam,
But I'm going to assume that it's
Mystery
going to
Dungeon.
be...
Majora's Mask 3D. There's also some, it's Story of Seasons, which is some silly whatever. It's like a Harvest Moon game. And
Isn't there supposed to be a Dragon Quest game that's coming out, too?
Eh.
If it is, it's there's the beta. There's like the Dynasty Warriors one for the PS4. I think that's the one you're thinking. Because 10 was a Wii game that was online only, and like
I could have sworn there's one in the works for the 3DS, though.
maybe. And what was that? Xenoblade, which is the only one that's confirmed for the new 3DS. Yeah, so that's basically it for the 3DS. That matters.
Now, are there going to be any games that are like strictly not compatible with the older 3DS systems that are only compatible with the new 3DS?
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade.
The Xenoblade remake is the only one that's been confirmed. Oh, there's Monster Hunter 4. That's right. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. I was forgetting one. Anyway.
Yeah. There was also like a rumor that they might be discontinuing the old 3DS models when the new one's coming,
They've
but I don't
already
understand why that would make...
discontinued the original 3DS model, and
So-
they'll probably end up discontinuing the XLs. They'll keep the 2DSs.
Are they?
Yeah.
Have they really already discontinued regular 3DSs?
Yes, that's the thing. They've been discontinued for a while.
Wow.
So
Wow.
this is a modern day Game Boy Color.
Yeah, actually.
It's kind of more like the DSi, really.
Well, the Game Boy Color did a lot more with itself than the DSi did.
That's why I'm saying it's more like the DSi at the moment. Because the
Oh.
DSi was supposed to be, like, way better, except they never, like, put out games.
They never did anything with it.
Exactly. There was, like, 5 games minus, like, DSi shop exclusive games. So there's 5 retail games. And, like, one of those never got released. So there was 4. So if they actually make games for the, you know, exclusive for the new 3DS, then I'll be like, yes, you're right, it's more like the Game Boy Color. But at the moment, it's like the DSi, basically. Because it's not a new handheld generation. That's the one thing.
Alright, so I think we covered basically...
Well, actually,
Everything we
there's
want to
if you need a reason why to buy it, or like you just want to know more, it's like the screens are bigger. It's going to have better battery life. The original model is going to have removable faceplates. It's going to have built-in like amiibo reading abilities.
Yep, it has that little
So
sensor that the Wii U
you're not going to
gamepad
have to
has.
buy the hockey puck that's going to come out for the older 3DS models, because that's an actual thing. Like, they're making an adapter that looks like a hockey puck. And it's going to have improved 3D ability. So
Yeah, it's supposed to make it so that whether it's not like so narrow a range that when you have the 3D on, like it'll be easier to see it from different angles.
when you have mom's spaghetti's hands and you're just like, whoa, dude. Like,
Hey,
whoa, Dave.
don't make fun of my mom's spaghetti hands, because I do have a problem with the 3D on my 3DS.
I don't. It's called off mode.
That's true. The easiest solution, which I've just done nowadays, is just don't have the 3D on, ever.
Not that I don't like 3D. It's just, it's usually more of a hassle than it is.
It is.
Also, it's, like, I found it very rare for a game to actually look good using the 3D. Like, there's
used it for Ocarina of Time 3D.
That's it. Well, I can
That's
see
it.
that being useful for when you have to, like, use the bow and arrow or the slingshot, and you need that depth, because otherwise you're like, what am I aiming at? Oh, not what I'm aiming at. Okay. As I'm playing the game right now. Not right now, but I own it now.
Also, it just makes the graphics pop a little bit better, and, I mean, if I'm going to play a game that I've already played, like, hours and hours of as a kid, I might as well make it look as nice as I can possibly get it to.
True facts. Well, I believe that's the end of that. Oh, and Poke-Tekken. There's that. But that's not a 3DS. That's a Wii U.
That's for Wii U. That's coming a long way into the future, because it's starting in arcades before it even becomes a twinkle in the eye of Wii U owners.
Oh.
But we know we're going to get it eventually. Just not sure when.
Right.
It's about as certain a release as Shantae Half-Genie Hero is right now.
Hopefully.
Eventually.
Maybe.
Well, we will see you next time we decide to do something different. And...
Oh, God.
What?
Oh, that cough is coming back. Hold on.
I honestly didn't hear what you tried to say.
Tortureless cough cough.
Alright. We will see you next time, and thank you, and good night.